speaking of politicians that are being bought and sold, one of the things that has struck me as challenging about the DeSantis campaign down in Florida is that he is somebody who's very much sort of bought and sold, right? He doesn't have any individual personal wealth. And so his entire career has been spent in politics, and thus he needs the support and the financial well-being of these various supporters. And I think that he's really struggled. I think he's struggled because, hey, how do you run against Trump right now? Very difficult position to be in. I think that Ted Cruz played it smart. Ted Cruz said, I'm young, I'll sit this one out. Thank you very much. I don't want to necessarily annoy the entire MAGA base, but DeSantis, and don't forget, all these guys have egos. Very, very big egos. It goes with the territory. DeSantis might have thought, oh, I can do this. I can take him on. And yet poll after poll after poll shows that he's made a series of mistakes. He hasn't been able to really ingratiate himself with voters. He hasn't made an impact like people had thought he might. And so now donors are like, I don't believe in this guy so much anymore. And they're searching for somebody else. They're searching for ABT, I call it, anybody but Trump. You have a lot of people on the left and on the right, that are looking at Trump saying he's too much of a wild card. I don't want him. I don't want the country to go through all this, blah, 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 blah. And so they're looking at DeSantis as the appointed one. I don't think he's the one you want to put your money on because, well, just look at some of the things he's done, et cetera, than Donald Trump. So the thesis behind this campaign ad is, you know what? This guy is more to the right than Trump. And if you vote for Trump, then you're too soft on all these issues. And this is the guy that has the military background. He's going to be the tough one, et cetera, et cetera. Well, what they don't get is that part of the appeal, shall we say, that Donald Trump does have for a lot of Americans is that he has a certain kind of aspect of being self-deprecating. He has some humor. He has some empathy. And that actually sells him more than, say, DeSantis, who doesn't seem to have the humor or the ability to be self-deprecating or to have much empathy. And then you come out with a commercial like that where you really are emphasizing that he doesn't have much empathy. And now he's going to be to the right of Trump. That didn't work. We saw it in the polls. And then there was another one that came out and they had some kind of horrendous symbol that was associated with Nazi Germany. And it's like, who's making this stuff, guys? Like, it is a very poorly run campaign. And I do think he's a victim to a certain extent of very inexperienced staffers. But hey, Trump had inexperienced staffers too, and he didn't quite have the missteps that this guy's having. So DeSantis now today announced they've got the DeSantis 2.0. He's not calling it 2.0. I call it 2.0. But they're announcing sort of a restart of the campaign, if you would. And they've got a new campaign manager. The other one's fired. And we'll see how he does. I just think that ultimately it's going to come down to whether Americans believe he can thrive on a national stage and on an international stage. And thus far, he's shown a real dedication to local issues, but he has not shown the same dedication and astuteness to some of the international issues. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.